Good evening, all. Hope you're doing well. I want to talk about the risk calc as per. I also want to talk about the trap mechanic as well, because you might not be aware about how the banks and institutions they place traps, and it's really clear and evident to see using the FXCM trading station. And I want to talk about the Dixie, and that went really well. It went to plan, and I'm actually quite happily surprised. I've got a bit of a sore throat because I've had some really spicy food, so I'm going to make it fairly brief today. It won't be a long video, and so let's talk about the trap mechanic, because obviously that's something of note, and it's something that we can use as well in your trading journey as well. So what's happened here, right? So let's maybe use the Dow Jones, because that actually looked really, really scary. And so what had happened, right, we had this big fall and then a really, really big fall. And what should happen is that when they sell, they will get punished, okay? So, they went up to they got punished. But however, this move here is telling us that those guys who sold at this point, they're getting paid. So that would be unusual, okay? So let's draw a box, and we should be above this box. And so this wick here, that should continue higher. So let's draw. Yeah, okay, then this one. So we should be within that box and above, because the fact that they'd sold it and they shouldn't be allowed to profit. So this is how you can spot a trap. So this is likely fake, and we should be wicking below, which we will be. Now, what they made it very, very scary is that I thought perhaps there was something in the news, and something happened. Something bad happened, and that's what what they've done. If they've made it very authentic looking, but we know by looking at the sentiment, this is likely a trap. It's not guaranteed, but it's likely going to wick, and then we're going to resume back in that box, and we'll be above for the fact of that simple one indicator down here, the SSI indicator. So they made a buy here, so we should be above. So that's the trap mechanic. So it isn't absolutely guaranteed, because if it fell, it doesn't mean that those guys get paid, and it can happen. It is, these guys have got absolutely destroyed for months on end, so they could probably get paid for a couple of hours, but it would be unusual. So that's the trap mechanic, right? So we should be wicking, and we are currently. Okay, so be careful. So let's look at gold, I suppose, while we're here. And then, we had some comments on gold in Telegram, and I'll show you when it made a buy. Yeah. Okay, so this is using that setup. So we made a buy at 19.90. Okay, so that's the flip that you're interested in, and you're getting out of a short if we go green. Right, so if we go green, you go long. Okay, so that's the easy thing. You could have got out of a very, very small loss here, and you could have made a lot of profit. I don't even know what kind of risk to reward that would be. It'd just be insane. If your stop was there, there's not much point talking about it, because no one knew where it was going to go, and I don't know if anyone would have held on to that profit, would they? If anyone did, then well done to you. I salute you if you did. So there's the buy. So in case you're wondering, oh no, what's happening with gold? Why is it going up? Well, it's because it made a buy at the static level. Okay, so that's gold. So that's the punishment bit that I wanted to talk about. Now, we've come from fear to complacency to euphoria. And you might have seen at the beginning of this video, we were in complacency. Now, the reason we went from complacency to euphoria was the technical scores, that we are grinding higher on the technical scores. So the VIX is getting crashed, the indices are rallying, the Dow Jones is down slightly, but we covered that, and that's likely going to go into positive by the close. Apple was positive, Tesla's positive, Google is also positive as well, and the Dixie is down. So that at least makes sense, because we shouldn't have a strong dollar if we've got strong indices. So this likely was a trap, and then we're going to go in positive territory, okay? And it will join the other indices. I guess I just had to do a shakeout. So that's the thing I want to talk about. Be careful with DAX, I think, because we're shifting quite heavily, and that's telling us a reduction of bears. And if we continue at that rate, by this time next week, we're going to be very close to being teetering into positive territory. If we go positive, it tells us that the bears were completely destroyed and now they've gone wrong. But if that happens, that's going to be really, really bad for that instrument. Okay, so that's DAX. And also lastly, I want to talk about the Dixie. And here we are. So that's the level of note, which is, you know, the sell. And we'd qualified the setup because C was above A. We didn't want a double top. We didn't get it because if it was a double top, it'd be too obvious, and then the herd would sell it. And they didn't want the herd to get involved, so they didn't make it a double top. We just simply broke above that high. Then it qualifies for that harmonic sequence because C has to be above A and D has to be below B. So we could theoretically be doing this. All right. Don't forget the Fed are going to be they'll be cutting as well. The chances of them cutting is greater over time, and that's going to probably hurt the dollar quite a lot. And things like the commodities could continue their upward trajectory. So this might be safe, this grimace emoji, but we'll keep it there because obviously the diagonal and the supply, and we've also got that low as well, which is going to come into strong resistance if we did continue higher. But it looks like we are probably maybe on the C to D leg. Okay, and the robot, I've made 2 videos on it today, and basically well, I might it's quite a lot to talk about. I don't want to make it a long video, but what's happened with the Euro USD is that we went sideways, and our technical indicators resulted in losses whenever it went sideways. So we now have reversed those technical indicators in the hope that we're going to go sideways and then we'll make profit. That's it in a nutshell. And so what we want sideways stuff, and then we'll be making a little bit of profit. Okay, and we don't really want the breakouts because that will result in a small loss. We just want sideways. Now I was thinking, looking at the way that things have sort of materialized over time, is that we have kind of just ranged. So this new strategy of trading sideways could be quite profitable. So if you think about it, we haven't really done that much. We're not really trending, are we? We were trending south, we were trending north, but then we're just like back to where we were in this big horrible chop. So if we're going to trade sideways, it might be really profitable. So we could extend our SL and TP massively, but I don't know if that's a good idea. What we need to do is just continue to scalp, but we are hoping that we're going to see more continuation of this sideways stuff. Okay, and you can see that we are on the big picture just going sideways. So this new method should be okay, where we reverse the technical indicators, because those indicators are designed for manual traders and also not on a scalper time frame as well. And that's why this should be okay. And that's what we'll do today and tomorrow, or tonight. There's not much left in the day now, but tomorrow and Friday, and then maybe even potentially next week, because Friday is going to be pretty bonkers. So we've got tight stops. We've reversed the technical indicators in the hope that we continue sideways, and then we can profit. So I'll just point you to those videos that I made. So if in Discord, check your QDB robot channel, and I've gone more into detail about the logic. Okay, so basically we just hope that we go more sideways. When you can look at the H4, and we pretty much have, haven't we? So we'll have to wait and see. And that's today's video. I've got a sore throat, like I mentioned, so I'm gonna take it easy now, and I'll speak to you guys tomorrow.